Savage Dragon number 54 from October of 1998. This is going to be the last of the Savage She-Dragon run that's been going on for a few issues here. And as you can see, it's teased that the original dragon might be returning after his death in issue 50. So more on that. First, a little bit more on this robot dude that's about to toss She-Dragon off the rooftop. That is X-Ro 5. This is one of those characters that Eric has been kicking around for years, going back to his childhood comics and stuff. And even back in like Graphic Fantasy number 1 from 1982, X-Ro 1 is in here. This guy on the far right of that panel. But it's one of those bad guys that Eric's had for a long time, so he's introduced here. And another footnote that I actually forgot a few issues ago, they started including the Savage Dragon website address, the URL underneath that image logo. So www.savagedragon.com, still running today. And on to the credits. Eric Larson is the writer and artist. Chris Eliopoulos is the letterer. And Josh Eckhorn is being satisfied by a cigar this very minute. So it's 1998, and everybody just found out who Monica Lewinsky is. So Jay Leno has been doing shitty jokes since about August about blowjobs and cum stains and cigars. So there's your 90s nostalgia. And looking over this splash page, it appears that shit has gone terribly wrong. And there's a massive explosion that Kill Cat swears he's not responsible for. So this is a pretty funny gag, especially if you read it immediately after where issue 53 left off. The SOS is headed to God World. The SOS is the Special Operations Strike Force, led by Rock. And Kill Cat is tagged along, but he's not very well regarded by the team. He's pretty unlucky. So Rock asks him not to touch anything. And then, that's immediately followed up with this massive explosion and the team fleeing back to the portal that they came through just in the nick of time before the entire planet explodes. So I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to show you what happened between those two panels. Presented without context is issue 57, where we see Kill Cat and the Kid Avenger on God World. The deadly duo has teamed up, and they found a power source, the primary generator of God World. And Kid Avenger says he could give it a power surge and blow it up, causing a distraction to help with the rescue. And then Kill Cat tells him, "No way, man. These are the same. These are the same guys who blew up Detroit during the Mars Attacks crossover." So he's adamant that they leave and just walk away from this thing. But then Kid Avenger does it anyway, and then the planet blows up. So anyway, the heroes, they're fleeing this explosion. Powerhouse, who was one of the kidnapped children of the gods, he flies through the portal along with pretty much most of the cast, except for a Radical here. Radical's kind of a minor character I've barely mentioned, but he is dead. This blast is powerful enough to explode back through the portal on Earth. Meanwhile, Godworld is just destroyed in this splash page there. So back in Chicago, Amy, the She-Dragon, is fighting Johnny Redbeard's robot bodyguard, the X-Ro 5. And then over here, William Johnson is having a transformation in the bathroom while Rita's knocking at the door, asking if everything is okay. While this poor bastard gets stretched to these like super heroic proportions. So the dragon that we believe to be killed in issue 50 has been living dormant inside Detective William Johnson. And now the dragon can take over physically and become like the dominant personality. But he has to bail out the window before Rita finds him. And she breaks down the door. So, speaking of issue 50, where the dragon supposedly died, that was also the last time that we saw Overlord's armor. Some unknown figure ran off with it in issue 50, but now looks like someone else is using it and flying around Chicago with it, so that's not good. Now, Powerhouse, he's a villain, so he doesn't want to hang out in this government-funded superhero headquarters. So he escapes out of there, and then She-Dragon is still getting her butt kicked by X-Row 5 there. So Godworld has exploded, and that leaves thousands of gods and assorted weirdos as they are refugeed on Earth. These deities had assembled an army to go and rescue Hercules, but since their planet exploded, they're still on Earth, raising hell. Thor here is like smashing Barbaric with a hammer, so we're gonna have these guys on Earth for a while. So that's cool. Let's see. Yeah, William Dragon has disguised himself with like a ski mask, and then he runs into She-Dragon just in the nick of time to save her from getting flung off of that building. Got some more Godworld stuff. Yeah, this big motherfucker, the All God, he comes down and he says like, y'all blew shit up, or you blew up our planet, so now these assholes are your problem. Peace out. And then the battle with the robot continues, but as a team, Amy and William are able to take out X-Row 5, electrocuted, short-circuited, and then William bails before the cops show up. And that's when he returns home to find that Rita has been kidnapped. So, pretty good issue. On to the letters page. Lengthy 7 pages of letters, mostly reactions to issue 52. And then there's one letter here that asks Eric like how to break into comics as a writer. And Eric admits that he has no good answer for this. His best advice is like to write a bunch of letters to your favorite comics, and then maybe editors will become familiar with you enough to hire you. So that's happened before, actually. So plenty of writers had started it as like letter hacks, just submitting fan letters to their favorite comics every month. Maybe that still works today. I don't think so. Then there's also some impressive fan art here by Brent Engstrom. And he didn't just like submit a sketch or something. He produced like a full story, like an 8-page comic about Savage Dragon taking on Powerhouse and the Brainy Ape. So all your favorites. Maybe that's too small to see, but impressive stuff. So impressive that Larson would actually go on to publish Engstrom's work as a backup feature in issue 104 and 105, which I pulled up here. So these shorts are the Adventures of Dragon Boy, and this is 2002. So 4 years later, and his style has evolved, maybe a little more cartoony, which kind of works for a humorous story like that. But that was and then you got a repeat in issue 105 here. And then the other noteworthy thing on this backup is that Larson was the one that colored it. And I really like his decision making with these kind of like primary flat colors. Really striking stuff. I like the coloring on this a lot. So anyway, so yeah, this dude basically booked himself a job for some backups for a few issues. Oh yeah, and then another weird coincidence. So on the back of issue 105 is Fire Breather by Phil Hester and drawn by Andy Kuhn. And then Andy Kuhn also did this pinup here of Dragon kicking this dude in the face. What else we got? Another Megaton Man backup, as well as Desperate Times. This is the introduction of Kennedy, the alcoholic sloth creature there. But most of the jokes are about the Spice Girls. So it's we started with Lewinsky jokes, and we'll end it with Spice Girl jokes. So that's the 90s, folks. There's bikini babes and boobs everywhere. And issue 55 is next.